Local history, local culture, local events, your community. This is the Joe Kelly Show.
And welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Megan Fraser McBrogan is our guest. She is the Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. And the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce is what we're going to be talking about. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Joe.
It's got to be a great time to be Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber because so much is happening.
Yes, it's a very exciting time, not only for Utica, but for our whole region.
Yeah. Somebody has asked me in the past, more than one person actually, when I thought things had changed around here, a different climate, a different feeling, a different atmosphere. And I've told people, Megan, I'd be interested in your thought on this. I've told people that I sensed it when the Utica Comets came to town.
Yes, yep, I would have to agree with that. You know, I moved out of the area for college and came back in 2007. Seems like it was yesterday, but,
Yeah.
but that's a little while ago. And, you know, really when I started my career at the brewery, so much has even changed in that neighborhood since then. But there's been a lot of things that have been the catalyst that have changed. But I think the Comets have certainly made a huge impact in that whole area. And just even the recent renovations, the change in the vibe there and what they've really brought entertainment back to our city. I think in sports is being a focus with the Boilermaker, as you know, but I think this has given us a winter entertainment to look forward to.
And now another big thing that's happening, and it's really changing the whole downtown view in so many ways, is the hospital.
Yes.
What is the Chamber's role, if any, in the new hospital coming downtown?
Well, we are supportive of the hospital. We came out in support of that. One of the first community organizations, I think, to come out in support of the hospital with a bunch of community partners, such as the Community Foundation, Mohawk Valley Edge, the Genesis Group. But we really feel very strongly about the project and its impacts that it will have. And you know, we have really been a partner of the hospitals, I think, in their announcing their news and their next steps and things that are going on with that project. So we're optimistic about the project and looking forward to it.
You were telling me before the show that the Chamber's involved in something called the Visioning Plan, Downtown Utica Visioning Plan?
Yes.
What's that all about?
So the Downtown Vision Plan was created through a partnership with similar partners that I mentioned with the hospital, although it's a completely separate project. It's a separate focus. The hospital is obviously a part of that plan. But a group of us came together, so the Chamber, the Community Foundation, Genesis Group, the county, the city, and Mohawk Valley Edge. And we hired a firm to put together and facilitate a process of coming up with the Downtown Vision Plan. And what that does is it created a framework really for reference as far as where our neighborhoods are, different street projects like the 5S project that are going on, and how all of that is going to cohesively come together. And really, it's something that cities of growth typically will put together, and they invest in something like this in order to have a framework for people to go off of instead of just kind of putting development in certain places. It gives it more of a cohesive feel and maybe neighborhoods where things are more appropriate. So if an outside investor is coming in, or even an investor in the area, they can look at it and say, okay, you know, I want to put something that's entertainment focused. Well, we would say, okay, so this is the district that's been identified as an entertainment district, or like the hospital district that's been identified as the healthcare district. So things like that.
Is that plan done?
It is, yep. We did release it a couple months ago. And, you know, people look at it and they get nervous and think that, you know, we've put together some plan that, you know, this is where everything is going to go.
Has to go.
That's not the object. You know, the object is to create framework so we can just be a little bit more focused in where we're thinking of development happening and projects happening.
You mentioned Route 5S there, Riscony Boulevard. Boy, that is really torn up that area.
It is.
I mean, it's going to be great when it's done, but boy, it's played havoc with traffic down there.
It has, and some of the businesses are quite frankly having a difficult time too. So, you know, when you're out and about, maybe, you know, take a second look at toughing through the traffic and going to patronize those businesses, because some of them are really struggling and feeling the effects of that.
You know, I was, this was a while back, I was driving down Genesee Street and I saw they were out working in front of Gerbers. I mean, it made it tough just to get in there, you know, with the jackhammers going and everything. But I guess once it gets done, the benefits will be there.
Yes,
yeah.
It'll be nice, and it'll be nice over, especially in that area that you mentioned, Gerbers, Utica Roasting. The traffic flow will be a lot easier to park and walk, and really a lot of the vision plan too is focused on pedestrian traffic. You know, our city does have a little bit of a walkability issue. We're also very spoiled though. You know, we're very used to driving up and walking in the front door of a business, and I think, you know, we all can kind of think about, you know, most cities are walkable, and most cities you don't really complain about parking a couple blocks away and walking. And so I think that's one of the things that the plan also addresses.
For some reason, when you're talking about that, it brings to mind the bicycles that are around Utica that you can rent now. There's another option.
Yes, yeah, and they're great. If you've never used them, I mean, they're very easy and turnkey to use. And I know Chris Lawrence from the city, that was one of his pet projects that he's really proud of. So that's another means of transportation too.
We've got them at, let's see, over by St. E's, and they're downtown by the hotel.
Yep. Ocean Blue, they're right outside of our office, the Landmark building.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that. You're in the Landmark building now. How's that working out for you?
It's great. We love the building. We're more, you know, we were previously just a block away, but I think we're more visible and centrally located. The space that we have has also afforded us the opportunity to have more of a community space for our members to use. We have an education room that seats more people than our previous space. 30 people can fit in that. At tables, about 40 people just seated in like a classroom style seating, and you know, it's allowed us to have a more visible community space.
Yeah, you were used to be in the hotel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. We come back, we'll talk more about the Utica Chamber of Commerce and the projects they're working on. We'll talk about the Jingle Jam too. That's upcoming, and the Business of the Year, that's upcoming as well. Megan Fraser McGrogan is our guest. Short break, right back.